Welcome in Craft and Design 3.0. For my dear guys, for my dear audience. In this video, I'll describe tips for creating welding sculpture, my dear guys. When we talk about tips for creating a welding sculpture, some essential tips. First of all, start with a clear design. Sketch or model your sculpture before welding. A clear design will help guide your project and prevent mistake. So different idea like as you use freehand sketches or digital tools like CAD to visualize your concept from different angles and choose the right metal. After that, when we start with a clear design, then choose the right metal. And when we talk about the choose the right metal, then tip select metal like steel, stainless steel, or aluminum, depending on the durability and aesthetic you want. And experiment with scrap metal for a rustic look or polished steel for a modern sleek finish. And practice basic welding techniques. Tips for practice basic welding techniques, master basic techniques like MIG, TIG or stick welding before dividing into a complex sculpture. So when we talk about different ideas and practice on scrap metal to improve your control and precision with welding seams, and a safety first, always wear protective gear like gloves, a welding helmet and fire resistance clothing. Use a proper workspace with ventilation and different ideas. Install a welding curtain in your workspace to protect other from spark and UV light. So use welding jigs or clamps to keep parts steady while welding. Use jigs or clamps to hold metal pieces in place. And different ideas like as adjustable clamp allows you to experiment with the different angles and position before welding permanently. So take weld first. Take weld a small point to hold parts in place before completing a full welds. So this allows for adjustment and reduces warping and track all key areas of your sculpture. Then gradually complete the weld to avoid misalignment and mix metal types and texture. So combine different metals or texture for a more interesting and dynamic sculpture. So use copper for accent or weathered metal to add contrast and depth to your design. So keep sculptures balanced. Tips ensure your sculpture is structurally sound and balanced. Welding thicker, heavier metal art at the base can help maintain stability. And use a wide base or weighted metal for larger sculpture to prevent them from tipping over. And some different experiment with heat for effect. Vary the heat while welding to create an artistic effect such as discoloration or texture on the metal. So use torching techniques to add a blue tint to steel or oxidize a certain metal for a rusted patina effect. So incorporate found object, add creativity by welding together found metal object like tools, gear, or car parts to create a unique and abstract sculpture. So use repurposed material from junkyard or hardware stores to give your sculptures a recycled industrial aesthetic. So clean and finish your work. For when we talk about some different tips, clean your sculpture using a wire brush or grinder to remove to remove a welding slag and rust, ensuring a clean surface. So add finishing touches like polish or paint to protect your sculpture and enhance its visual appeal. So layer your sculpture, create a depth and a dimension by layering pieces of metal either by overlapping or welding piece at different angles. So idea use thin sheets of metal or rods to create intricate, delicate detail on a large piece. So some patience and precision. Welding sculptures require precision, so take your time with each weld. So rushing may lead to poor joints or misaligned pieces. And when we talk about the idea, check your work frequently as you weld to ensure alignment, stability, and overall aesthetic are coming together as planned. So use texture for impact. Experiment with grinding, etching, or hammering metal for texture. So create a rough, rustic areas next to smooth polished section for contrast and visual interest. So consider scale and space. Ensure your sculpture scale fit its intended space, whether it's indoor or outdoor. Create a mock-up to understand how your sculpture will interact with its surroundings. Include how light will hit the metal. So weld in sections. Break large sculptures into smaller sections for easier handling and assembling. So weld pieces together on site for a large installation to avoid transportation issues. So heat control. Too much heat can warp or thin metal or damage delicate areas, and use heat sinks or let the metal cool down between weld when working with the thinner material. So add movement, incorporate element of movement into your design such as hind joints, rotating parts or flexible rods. And different ideas create kinetic sculptures that respond to wind or touch for an interactive art pieces. So consider long-term durability. Tips for outdoor sculptures. Ensure you are using weather resistance metal like stainless steel or applying protective coating, and use powder coating, galvanized finishes or weatherproof paint for protection from the element. So incorporate light, my dear guys. Design your sculpture to interact with light by adding opening holes or reflective surface. So my dear guys, I think that my video and my these sculpture idea inspired you much, and if inspired, then subscribe my channel, like my video, and share my video with your affectionate love. So thank you very much guys for watching my video.